Velete, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you. Or wonders they say shall never cease to happen. The world is on the edge of a cliff. But the story you aren't being told is happening behind closed doors in the southern place. According to a bombshell report by NBC News, the United States just hit a brick wall in Riyadh. President Donald Trump reportedly made a call pushing for the launch of, quote, Project Freedom, end of quote, a massive military operation aimed at crushing Iran. But the answer from Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman was a cold, hard no. This wasn't just a polite decline. Saudi Arabia has officially issued a warning. Do not use our airspace. Do not bring your military even to Saudi Arabia. Do not use our military bases. Do not think you can launch a war from our soil. For decades, Washington treated these bases like their own backyard. But that era is dead. Trump tried to flex the relationship with the kingdom, yet MBS stood firm. The secrecy is out. The Saudis are refusing to be the launch pad for Project Freedom because they have realized that when the bombs start falling, it is their region that burns, not Washington. There is a proverb that says, the one who lends you his teeth will not help you chew. This isn't just about the Middle East. This is a mirror of what we are seeing across African continent, especially within the alliance of the Sahel states. Why did Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso kicked out foreign forces? For the exact same reason MBS is blocking Trump. It is a total collapse of trust. The West call these missions freedom or stability, but the global South now sees them for what they truly are, tools of control. Saudi Arabia is watching the Sahel. They see nations reclaiming their sovereignty and they are following suit. They are refusing to be part of Operation Prosperity Guardian or any other Western-led coalition that treats their territory like a chess piece.
Breaking news coming out of Saudi Arabia and the USA. Saudi Arabia blocks the U.S. military from using its bases and airspace for the operation linked to the Strait of Hormuz, according to NBC. Now, for those of y'all that don't know what this is, this was the Operation Project Freedom, all right? So Saudi Arabia denied U.S. access to its airspace, pressured Trump to pause Project Freedom. During the U.S. Operation Epic Fury against Iran and before the ongoing temporary U.S.-Iran ceasefire, Saudi Arabia allowed the U.S. to fly aircraft from the Prince Sultan Air Base. The article continues, U.S. President Donald Trump's decision to pause a U.S. operation to guide ships through the Strait of Hormuz came as a result of pressure from Saudi Arabia, according to an NBC News report citing two U.S. officials. Now, for those of y'all that don't know which operation this is, this was the Project Freedom, where Trump wanted to forcefully make his way into the Strait of Hormuz to bring ships out of the Strait of Hormuz that have been parked for so long. And I gotta say, W Saudi Arabia, all right? W Saudi Arabia for not enabling President Trump, all right? Even though Saudi Arabia was enabling President Trump, especially in the month of February. And I gotta say to all of the Saudis that tried to call me a liar, you owe me an apology, all right? You can apologize later, but for right now, I gotta say congratulations to MBS, because these are the actions that have been needed in February and March and in April. But you know what? I'm happy that he's making the right decision right now, because the more people that enable this man, the crazier things that he will do. The less people that will enable him, the less crazy things that he will do. And for the people that were wondering and asking about sources, satellite images show more aircraft at Saudi Air Base used by U.S. forces. This was not only on February 17th, February 21st, and February 27th as well. Satellite images showed a rise in the number of military support aircraft, including refueling tankers at a Saudi air base used by the U.S. military during a 4-day period in February as Washington built forces in the region amid tensions with Iran. Like I said, to all of the Saudis that tried to call me a liar, you owe me an apology, but apologize on your own time or whatever the situation is. Good job, MBS. Good job, MBS, for not enabling this madman that we have in office.
The frontline truth is simple. The world is no longer divided by East and West, those who take orders and those who take charge. By shutting down Project Freedom, Saudi Arabia is signaling the end of an era, just like the AES in the Sahel. Riyadh is choosing its own interests over a partnership that only serves the Pentagon. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to become a member. The trust is broken. The lines are drawn from the sands of Riyadh to the heart of the Sahel. The message to the old powers is loud and clear. Our land is no longer your battlefield. And we've seen that these nations saw what happened to them, to the point that they came out openly accusing the United States of America that when things became hot, that they needed them to protect them, they left them and they were protecting the Glory land. They were never there to be seen. And they even went ahead to tell us that before they came launching this operation Epifury, to the point that we moved to Epic Failure and now we are Project Freedom, they were never consulted, unlike this operation that they are consulted. But when things became difficult, they were feeling the heat. They were at the mercy of Iranian missiles and they were nowhere to be found. So when they look at what happened to them and they're still thinking about how to put their things together, I don't think that they will even allow. But people are saying that we can never actually trust these people, because when you listen to the statement or the interview Professor Marandi gave, you can see that these people are still not learning their lessons. So as to whether they are saying it openly to the world to see that they are not part, or they really mean what they are saying, it's time that will tell when this operation begins again. But for now, Africans, this is a lesson to all of us. Because if we have read concerning these things that happen, now these same things are happening right in front of our eyes, and we need to learn from these things. We saw what happened in the Middle East, the way things were on fire just because they decided to host foreign military bases in their countries. And if African leaders will continue to be sitting here expecting other people to come and establish their bases in the name of partnership, in the name of protection, I think our leaders need to come again. And this is not the time for us to sit down expecting other people always to come and do something for us. That has been the problem of the African. Look at what is happening in the Sahel. The Sahelian leaders are fighting. The military are on the ground. So why should we sit here expecting that should just be in their uniform and then at the end of the month we pay them? They should be active. They should be ready to fight for themselves. They should be ready to defend themselves. We need to stop depending on other people. A borrowed garment can never keep you warm. And if this Gulf states or the Arab nations at the end of what happened, and if things should decide to go back, then that's their business. But it doesn't mean that Africans, we should continue to be repeating the same mistakes. We should be ready to take responsibility for our own selves. I don't understand why our leaders always think that people should come here and help us, like Macron said it. They are here for their interests. We are asking them how their satellite can see our army misusing or unaliving people, yet their satellite cannot see how other people are funding these people. And he said their business is their interest. So where their interest is, that's where they see. What will benefit them is what they channel their energy into. And we sit here, Africa, expecting that African Union, people should come here. Africa, we are vulnerable. Every day the African is vulnerable. We can never rise up to do something meaningful for ourselves. The time has come that we need to learn, we need to defend, we need to be ready to fight for our own sovereignty, because we cannot continue to be waiting on other people to come here and do anything for us. That time should be a thing of the past. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, Middle East, and in Saudi Arabia.